Hi, I'm Jelissa Irish. I'm here to respond to discussion board post for week 5. So the first question about Kathy Snow and her articles that we read, I think that it really made me think and it kind of challenged me a little bit. Just on the points that she made, I think that above anything else that I took from it, it should definitely be about the family's choice for what they think is best for their child, whether they're experiencing a developmental delay or if they do have a certain disorder that can be labeled. I think that it is all up to the family. It should be their choice how they want to go forward after they are diagnosed. Um, Also, as far as what she says about age, so developmental age versus chronological age, I think that chronological age should always come first. Although a child may be um, developmentally at a different age, I think it's important to know what age they are for sure. I think, especially the example that was in the text about the boy who um, the physical therapist just started out with, he, carries as an 8-month old. I think that it would be more beneficial for the physical therapist to say their role and say, as far as gross motor skills or physically, this child is about in the area of an 8-month old with mobility. But I also think that it's really, really important that they have that time around their same age peers because they need to see it modeled where other students their age are at, and they can see examples of where they can, achieve eventually. And they can also just try to get to where they're at if they are capable of that, depending on their physical uh, limitations and stuff like that. Um, I also think that the points that she made about the developmental age really back up what a lot of the videos that we've been watching have said, that a lot of times people with disabilities are infantilized. Um, so they kind of are just put in a box and people just stereotype. And yeah, but I think all are capable and they should be encouraged in the same way as anyone else is. I also think that it's important to know the developmental age, though, because you have to meet them where they're at in order to help them grow. Kind of like when we're teaching a new concept, and you should build, bring up prior knowledge to build on that. So I think it's important to know that, but I don't think that it's the most important thing. And as far as early intervention, the article really made me think. It really definitely challenged what I have been thinking. I really want to advocate for early intervention because it is so important. The earlier that you can get students services and help and accommodate them to help them be successful, I think that they will learn to use those and they'll adapt to what they need, and they can start earlier to go farther eventually. But I also really like that she compared it to the one line made me chuckle a tiny bit, and said if you put a student with autism in a room with all other students who have autism, they will just have more autism. And I don't really think that's how it works. But I mean, just seeing other students acting the same way, maybe using repetitive behaviors, might actually have that come out more. So I think it is extremely important for students with disabilities to be included. Going back to last week with that inclusion, and having them around their same age peers that can model the appropriate behavior for them, and they can see that and be able to grow and strive toward that and not just kind of be limited to the models around them. So I still think that early intervention is extremely important, But I think that ultimately parents should decide what they want for their child. And I think that a lot of professionals think that it's important to have that label. But I guess depending on what the school or program is going to do with that label and that student is kind of where it gets a little tricky. But I think ultimately should be up to the parent to decide. Thanks. Have a great week.